Alright, I know I just did a video a day ago, but I feel like I haven't properly broken this down, and I'm kind of fucking bored right now, so I'm going to do a video. Um, so, I just checked with FedEx, by the way. My TV will be here about Monday, um, so I'll be doing a review next week. So, I've mentioned before that I use like 10 different fucking streaming apps, especially in the last video I talked about it a little bit. Uh, So I have Showtime, Stars, HBO Max, Shudder, DC Universe, Disney Plus, Hulu, Prime Video, Netflix, Verve, Funimation, and then I pay like $62 for my internet. Of course, then you have your free streaming shit like Tubi, Crackle, Pluto, Stir. I bought my cable login for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, because HBO Max can't be bothered to put their shit on. I'll be getting Peacock when that launches, which is rumored to be free or $10. I'll most likely go with the $10 one. So you might be thinking, well, 10, 11 things, this is really fucking expensive. And there was a time when it was just Netflix and Hulu, and you could get pretty much everything you'd ever want, and it was actually pretty damn cheap. That's not the case. Everything left Hulu, fucking first CW, then Viacom. Viacom owns things like Comedy Central and shit. They recently merged with Nickelodeon, or CBS, which owns Nickelodeon. So now it's Viacom, CBS. No, Viacom owns Nickelodeon to begin with. So it's really confusing with all the mergers and shit that have happened and who owns what. Basically, Viacom owned a lot of shit. They pulled everything off. And almost immediately after the CW and Viacom pulled their shit from Hulu, people started pirating everything. Because people would rather pirate shit than pay for cable. That's just a fact. People don't want to pay for cable anymore. And the cable industry decided to start a streaming war. And so that's why we have so many different apps right now to choose from. And you're probably thinking, well, how much cheaper is it than cable? Well, I priced it out with what I currently pay, and then I compared it to what it would be like with cable. So let's take a look at that. So this is what I currently pay. I pay $62 for my internet. I pay $12.99 for my Amazon Prime membership, which, you get free shipping and shit, so I don't really count that, but I'm counting it for this purpose here. And then I have HBO, that's HBO Max. They upgraded me for free. Same price, so you do get a lot more than if you were just paying for HBO before. I have Stars. I have CBS and Showtime, which is probably going to change in the future because Viacom's CBS, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves now, is apparently launching a new service with all their shit on it. So I'm going to look forward to seeing how much that costs and if it saves me any money. Now, Shudder is an interesting one. It's basically all horror films. It's from AMC, and it was originally on Verve, as was Funimation. After AT&T bought Time Warner, a lot of deals kind of fell through, where Verve, which is owned by Crunchyroll, had Funimation and Shudder in it, and then as soon as AT&T bought it, those deals kind of fell through, so it was good because it saved me money in that I no longer had to pay for Boomerang Cartoons. That's the classic Cartoon Network channel. And while that did save me $5.99, it really didn't save me any money because, as you can see now, I had to pay an additional $11 for these two. And also, Verve, HBO, and DC Universe are all owned by the same company, so I don't know why they don't just put their shit all on one app. Anyways, I'm also paying for Funimation, DC Universe, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Again, I've mentioned this before, but Disney Plus shouldn't exist. Disney Plus, or Disney for that matter, should have put everything they have on Hulu because they now own Hulu. And it seems just like a waste of opportunity to me. And then I have Netflix. So altogether for my TV and internet, I pay $180.33. Now, if I were to get the same internet package, which is about 300 megabits per second, but replace a lot of this with cable, so I would need a cable package that would offer HBO, Starz, and Showtime. That package, there are two packages that offer TV and internet with 300 megabits, but I would have to go with the more expensive one to get the premium channels. So that would cost me $125.98. And then $145.98 after 12 months. And of course, I'm still gonna have to pay for Amazon, Shudder, for Funimation, DC Universe, Disney Plus, Hulu, and Netflix. So if I were to switch to Comcast and get my premium channels through there, it would cost me $201.34 for the first 12 months, and then it would cost me $221.34. So I'm still saving about $30, $40, $50, give or take, because of course I'm not adding into account that with Comcast you have to pay monthly fees for cable boxes and your router and shit. So, excuse me, it's probably going to cost about $10, $12 more if I were to go with cable. And you have to remember, cable, one, doesn't offer everything, so you're still going to be signing up for like Netflix and streaming apps on top of your cable. But it is just cheaper to build your own cable package with streaming apps like I do. Especially if you're going for the premium channels like Starz, HBO Max, and Showtime. Showtime doesn't really have the best selection anymore. They haven't for a while. Neither is Starz, but they're still good enough for watching movies and shit. But it is still more expensive to go with cable than with streaming. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because I just broke down the price for you. It is cheaper, especially if you don't have as many apps as me, to go with streaming and then pay for an internet bundle, only internet, than it is to go with, TV and internet and then get streaming apps that you can't get through cable. So I would recommend, anytime you see anything on the internet where they tell you doing something like this where you have all these streaming apps is going to be more expensive than paying for cable. What they're not telling you is you're not just going to be paying for cable, of course, because you're also going to have to pay for any other streaming apps like Netflix on top of the cable. And of course you're not going to give up Amazon, and Amazon does come with free TV. And a lot of people do use Amazon, so... But like whether or not you pay for any of these other things is something else entirely. But there is a lot cable can't give you. But I find paying for what I pay for here, I get a very large selection of shit to choose from. I like that it's customized towards what I want, and I'm not paying for anything I don't want, like with Comcast, where, I don't speak Spanish fluently. I maybe speak a handful. But I'm not paying right now for Spanish channels. With Comcast, I wouldn't have that option. There would be some Spanish channels. The other thing that comes with Comcast is you pay extra for HD. There's two different versions of most channels, one in HD, one in SD. Whereas with streaming, everything's at least HD. I might upgrade my Netflix to the 4K one. I'm not sure. Disney Plus, by default price, is 4K, but you can change it to 1080p, which is standard definition nowadays, I believe. But this is definitely a cheaper alternative than, even though I'm paying $180 a month, it's still much cheaper than, this. Not by much, granted. It's like I don't know. It's still cheaper, but it's not like it was when streaming first started, when it was just Netflix and Hulu. Now, of course, the less apps you have, the more money you're gonna save based off this shit. Um, and you know, you might even be able to get it cheaper than just the base price here. Um, if you only have one or two. But that's pretty much the price breakdown of streaming versus cable. I'm more than happy to pay $180, $190 a month for cable. Um, that's just me. I like watching TV. Um, I just don't want to pay Comcast because there's a lot of shit on there that I don't want to watch. And I very much like being able to pick and choose what I want to watch. And I don't have live TV. I'm more than happy with waiting a day after it airs. I don't really give a shit. But that's pretty much the price breakdown. So if any of you were wondering, or anyone who clicks on this video is wondering, is it truly cheaper to go with streaming over cable? The answer is yes. How much cheaper depends on you personally. If you're only gonna watch Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus maybe, it's gonna be drastically cheaper than cable. If you're like me and you want to get like everything, because you're really into everything like anime and whatnot, it's still going to be expensive, yes, but it's not going to be as expensive. You are going to save at least $30. The fuck? Oh, I think that's from the pizza I just ate. Instagram's weird. So yeah, it's going to be cheaper. It's, to me, any money you can save, even if it's $10, is worth saving, because that $10 can be put elsewhere in your bills. But that's just me. So again, if any of you are wondering what the price breakdown is, I know there's been a lot of videos on YouTube saying, oh, it's getting as expensive as cable. It is close, but you are still saving a penny. And in my opinion, if you can save $10, it's definitely fucking worth it. Especially to not have to put up with Comcast for cable. Granted, you do have some backfalls, because instead of paying monthly, you do have to pay outright for your devices. But I would argue that is still better, because let's say you're paying $5 a month for your cable box. Well, let's say you have it for 2 years. 5 times 24. I don't know math. I kind of suck at math off the top of my head. So 5 times 24. So right there you're paying $120 for a cable box that you don't own. So if you get, $50 streaming device, there you go. You just saved money on your cable box. If all you have is internet, you can probably also save money by getting your own modem from Amazon. So the thing is, Comcast doesn't want you to save money. These companies don't want you to save money. And so I feel like a lot of these reviews that are saying it's as expensive are coming from uninformed people who haven't properly broken down the price. Or they're getting paid off by the cable companies. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that at the end of the day, some of these people getting paid off to kind of throw streaming under the bus. But, we live in a world where people write reviews on TVs and shit, and their reviews get deleted because it's negative. Fucking Last of Us 2 just had that fucking problem, where a lot of user reviews got fucking deleted. So, that's where we are. I'm going to end the video before this gets too long. But yeah, streaming is definitely cheaper than cable. And go out and pick whatever the fuck you want to watch. Don't pay for cable. See you guys next week when I get my TiVo.